This is Aquila Maddox, the Inspirationalist, and I wanted to talk to you about relationships. As a woman, you have an amazing position to influence both the men as well as the children, which gives you access, full access to the whole community. And with that being said, I believe it's very important for you to be intentional about you and how you use this influence. Here's a little information that I believe will give you an edge when dealing with those that are close to you. I like to consider this like head, shoulder, knees, and toes. You remember playing that game when you were growing up, and it's really not even really a game, I don't think. But needless to say, it's pretty much, I think identifying the areas of the body and how quickly you can do it and all that other stuff. Well, we're gonna utilize that. The way that our body is structured, I believe, is very intentional and strategic. I think God is absolutely flipping amazing. And so with that, we have our head, right? Well, in our head, we have our eyes and our brain, which are very close to each other. If you look scientifically and you look at a diagram of the body, it will show you that the brain pretty much sits like behind the eyeballs. And so with that being said, the very first thing in order for us to properly leverage our influence is to consider that we have to sell that part of the body first. We have to either sell the eyes, which then begins to sell, talk to the mind, or we have to sell the mind, which begins to train what the eyes are seeing. So if you imagine, we're going to talk this through as if we're purchasing a car. One of the things that people often do when they're trying to sell you a car is they want to show you the vehicle first. Sometimes depending on the type of customer, they sit down and they have a conversation with you first to find out what your needs are, because they're trying to get inside the mind. Now, once the mind is sold on this opportunity, now we can sell the eyes. We'll present a car before you. And so the next thing after the eyes or the mind, whichever order is sold, then you would have to begin to sell the mouth. You have to now engage the mouth. Once you've engaged the mouth with conversation, dialogue, back and forth, now you're in a position where you can actually, you actually have an opportunity now to find out what more it is that this person seeks, desires, needs, whatever the case may be. So now once the mouth is engaged and not shut down from having this conversation, then it's more than likely you have made some headway into the heart. And after you've made, now you know how people say, my heart was set on this ice cream. It didn't mean they were all in love and it was a super emotional opportunity, but it just meant that their heart is now willing to go forth with whatever the decision that the eyes, the mouth, and the mouth have already gave way to. Once the heart is now set on there will be something that will take place with the hands. There's a will that will take place with the hands as well as the feet, which kind of work together. Because when the heart is set on something, now the hands are willing to do whatever needs to happen to make that happen. Have you ever wanted some ice cream so badly that you would get up in the middle of the night? You're like, I saw it, I thought about it, I began to research this ice cream, I saw the flavor that I wanted. I talked to my husband or my friends or whatever and said, hey, let's go get some ice cream. And now you're going to put it to action and you're like looking up Baskin and Robbins and seeing what's open. That is the way that our body is operating when we are considering something we desire and something we want. So I want you to keep that in mind with any conversation that you have, especially with your spouse or your mate or someone that you are seeking to have a long-term relationship with. Keep this in mind. It is very, very important that we do not try to get the hands and the feet to move faster than the heart, which would move faster than the mouth, which would be moving premature of the mind and of the eyes. This is the Inspirationalist. Hope you found that somewhat helpful at least, and I'll talk to you soon. This is the Inspirationalist, and I hope that information helps you with your relationships.